Hello. I want to thank you for joining us today for our session and to encourage you to watch some of the other videos in this series on building your at-home learning toolkit. Today, we're going to talk about setting up a learning space at home. I'm lucky enough to get to work with Rachel Smith, a fifth grade teacher at Bee Breakers. My name is Christine Downing, and I'm the assistant principal at Aloha Huber Park. We get lots of questions from parents, either at school, the grocery store, in the neighborhood, about distance learning and supporting their child at home. We want to start by thanking you for all the work you're doing to support your child's learning at home during distance learning. You know your child best, and you will really know how to help them and support them. But we thought we'd offer a few suggestions to some common questions that might help spark some ideas for you as well when you're working with your child at home. Lots of parents ask about helping their child stay focused at home. This is something you may have even noticed as an adult when you're working at home. It is sometimes hard to stay focused because we love our home. We love the people that are there. We have so many things we want to do, and it may be hard to focus on work. Some things that help are creating a quiet space for your child to work, and this may need to be several different places in your home. It may be that when they're reading, they'd love to build a fort in their room and lay on the ground and read. But math, they probably need a place with a hard surface where they can write on. Offering breaks to your child is something we do at school and something that can be very helpful at home as well. Just like at school, maybe after a math lesson, we have recess. At home, after they've worked on math for a while, it might be a nice time for an activity break. Timers can also help children see how long they're going to work on something and how long they have left. If you've borrowed a school Chromebook or iPad, those typically have a timer app on them that you can use also to help your child gauge how much time they have left to work on an activity, or even how much time they have left until the next Zoom meeting. You could say something like, once this timer goes off, it's time for your Zoom meeting. Setting small goals and complimenting your child when they meet those goals really helps them see what behavior you want them to repeat. So when they work hard at their assignment and they get lots of nice jobs, wow, doesn't that feel good? That makes many children want to repeat that the next day. Sometimes we hear from parents that their student doesn't want to complete the lessons at home. Again, this is to be expected. They're at home. It's different than the school environment where they come and they're used to completing lessons. This is something new. One thing that helps many children is having choice. Your child's day will be broken up into time where they have Zoom lessons, but also time that they're working on assignments their teacher has put in Seesaw or in Canvas. This would be a great way to offer your child a choice during that work time. Would you like to do your math first or your reading? Sometimes just that small choice helps. We do want you to know that if your child is really having a hard time with the assignments, please reach out to your child's teacher to talk about strategies. There may be some differentiation that needs to be done with the assignments. Possibly your child needs some support or some challenges. But talking with your child's teacher can really help the two of you work together to come up with something that will work for your child. We hear from parents often also that sometimes there is too much to be done in the day, depending on what else the family has going on. I would ask that you prioritize what you would like to get done that day. The Zoom lessons and meetings with the class, and then also the live lessons are something I would prioritize to focus on first. The assignments will still be there. So if your child maybe doesn't finish one of their assignments on a Wednesday, it's still going to be there, and they could maybe do something extra on Thursday or on Saturday. Maybe there's time that they can catch up. But think about what works for your family and how you can best weave in the schoolwork into your day and really help your child start to get a schedule for school. Rachel's going to share now some information and some strategies for the logistical part of setting up your home learning. Again, thank you so much for all the work you're doing with your child. We can't wait to have your children back in the building in a hybrid model, hopefully soon.
I'm going to share with you a few tips we've collected for setting up an at-home learning space. There are lots of different ways to help your child be successful with comprehensive distance learning. These are just some ideas to help you find what works best for your family. First, it's not necessary to go out and buy new materials. Just being intentional and creative with the space and materials you already have and thinking about things in a new way will help you set up a space where your child will be successful with distance learning. Kids are an amazing resource too. Have them help you set up their learning space. They'll be more likely to use the space and take care of their materials if they're part of the setup process. Finally, know that how you originally set up the space is not necessarily how it has to stay throughout distance learning. Talk and reflect as a family about what works well and what needs to change, and then adjust as you see fit. With your child's input, create a schedule for the day. Schedule in times for breaks, movement, screen-free time and activities, and snacks and meals. Having a consistent schedule can help your child take ownership of their learning and their school day. Set up a quiet, dedicated workspace for your child away from TV and other distractions. There are lots of creative, inexpensive ways to create separate private workspaces, like using folders or trifold poster boards to separate a table. Students can also use headphones to minimize distractions while they work. It's also important to have necessary school materials accessible, organized, and ready for the day. You can use cups, jars, and boxes to organize school supplies. When setting up your learning space, having a solid surface to write and draw on can also be helpful. Students can use a table or desk, or have a mobile option like a lap desk or tray. One final suggestion to consider when setting up your at-home learning space is to use different notebooks for each subject, or to split up a single notebook into different sections. This will help students stay organized as they complete work in different subject areas. Hopefully some of these suggestions and ideas are helpful to you as you set up a learning space that works for your student and your family.